Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Ruth Ann McKinnon. Today I'm going to be doing a video comparing two of my favorite sandalwood fragrances from my collection. Sandalwood is a note that I believe is now fully artificial. It used to be derived from Mysore sandalwood from India. I can't speak to that specifically, but there's still a note called sandalwood that's in perfumery. I have two fairly modern bottles of different brands of sandalwood perfumes that I'm going to be discussing today and comparing them, and surprisingly which one I like better. So I'm going to get started with the more expensive high-end one, and that is Samsara by Guerlain. This is a French perfume. This was a bottle that I asked for specifically from my husband. He got it for me as it was either a birthday or Christmas or anniversary gift. This, I believe, is a 2.5 fluid ounce bottle. It was probably just over $100. This is not the bottle that it comes in anymore. It now comes in a bottle shaped like this. And when I just looked it up before doing this video, this is L'Heure Bleue, by the way, it looks like the EDP comes in this bottle and the Eau de Toilette comes in the B bottle. Now, don't absolutely quote me on that. If you're interested in purchasing this video, I would look it up for yourself, but that's what I just found when I looked it up. So at any rate, this is the Eau de Parfum. And I don't know what year this bottle was made, but it was originally released by Guerlain in 1989. The top notes are peach, bergamot, green notes, lemon. Other notes include iris, jasmine, narcissus, orris root, rose, violet. The main player in this fragrance is sandalwood. There's also vanilla, iris, amber, tonka, and musk. It's obviously a very complex fragrance that has lots and lots of notes. How it wears for me is it's a slightly powdery, woody, amber fragrance. Now, technically, it's considered a woody yellow floral, and I'm sure there are lots of yellow florals in there, just like I said in the notes, the narcissus, iris, jasmine, very warm, exotic florals. However, I don't really pick those up in this fragrance, to be honest with you. It's really just blended in there. What comes across mostly is this dry, cold, opulent smelling, slightly spicy sandalwood. The amber comes in more deeper into the dry down, but it doesn't come across as a warmth. Now, sandalwood typically is a warm fragrance. If you've ever burned sandalwood incense, you know that it's just a warm, inviting, rich, enveloping kind of a fragrance. I love it in perfumery, but Guerlain has a way of making a lot of their fragrances a lot more off-putting. I don't mean off-putting in its beauty, I mean off-putting in its warmth. It's more cold and dry. But it's very pleasant. I love it. I'm not trying to hate on this fragrance at all. It's absolutely beautiful. It's very luxurious. It smells very rich. The sandalwood in here is dark, heavy, and dry. It smells almost like if you had drying wood and you put your nose on it and smelled it, or dry the sandalwood incense. Incense is very dry because you're smelling smoke. It's not a humid kind of a fragrance. It's not a moist kind of fragrance. It's very dry. There's also a touch of luxurious oriental spice in here, but it's very much in the background. The other thing I neglected to mention was in the opening there's a touch of citrus, but that goes away. It's very fleeting. So it's like this marriage between citrus, floral, and sandalwood that makes this, how I would describe it, my number one description would be, it's a cold sandalwood bomb. All right? It's the kind of fragrance you would wear maybe with if you had a sweater that was this color, kind of a garnet red, deep red, and you wanted to go shopping, maybe luxury shopping, but you wanted to be left alone. Like, this is not the kind of fragrance you wear that women will walk up to you and say, "Oh, what are you wearing?" It's more like a, "Oh, maybe we should stay away from her." It's kind of off-putting, and at least that's my interpretation of it. Is it's mysterious. It's that mysterious woman in the corner with the dark eyes, and she wears exotic clothes, and you're not going to approach her. All right. Just to go over the price a bit, right now on eBay. Now, I'm not talking about if you went to Guerlain's website or if you went to a store and what it would cost, but on eBay, where I buy pretty much all my perfumes, this bottle of EDP is about $200. If you want to get it in the other bottle that I just showed you, it's around $98. The 1.7 ounce, if you want to get it in the red bottle, I found one for $250. So it's definitely not an inexpensive perfume, but it is beautiful. A lot of people describe this as a masterpiece, and I would agree. It's not one that I like to wear in warm weather. It's definitely a winter, cold weather, fall. In the cold weather, I'm not kidding, on clothing, this will last a week. In the warm weather, it'll last a full 24 hours, even on skin. It's absolutely gorgeous, but I don't tend to wear it in warm weather because it's just a little too much. It just doesn't seem to fit for me in the warm weather, but it's gorgeous. If you can get your hands on one of these older bottles, I highly recommend it, but you've got to like sandalwood. And I wouldn't even classify this as a safe blind buy unless you love sandalwood. If you're a little iffy, you're not sure, I would sample this first because it's really a bomb. It's beautiful. I also don't detect any of that, what they call guerlanade in it, which is the base notes that a lot of Guerlain's classic fragrances are based on. This one, I don't pick that up at all. Not at all. So, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. So if that is part of Guerlain that you don't like, I wouldn't worry about that with Samsara. So the next fragrance, this is I'm going to try to adjust my camera here slightly. This is a real cheapie, and this one is by Avon, and it's called Candid. And this is the new bottle, the new formulation. I don't have a classic. I did have, my first purchase of Candid was in a more oval-shaped bottle, and that was from the 90s. I have not smelled anything older than that. But from what I understand, from what I've read, the current formulation is fairly consistent with the older one. And I'm not one to really gripe about formulations. I just kind of wear what I can get, and I don't, get picky about that sort of thing. So this was released by Avon in 1977, back in the 70s when real natural fragrances were all the rage. Natural musks, patchouli, and sandalwood were really, really big at that time. So this was perfect for that time frame. This is considered a floral fragrance, and the notes include tuberose, sandalwood, oak moss, jasmine, vetiver, ylang ylang, and rose. The two notes that come across here the most are the sandalwood and the oak moss. But the oak moss really takes a back seat. Like, this is not a moldy, in-your-face oak moss like what you would get with Charlie or with Chanel No. 19. Not at all. There's nothing green in Candid. Oak moss, I think, just gives it a little bit of depth and complexity. The tuberose and the sandalwood in the top stick with it through the whole wear. I don't really pick up the jasmine, vetiver, ylang ylang, or rose. This, for me, Candid, will last 6+ hours. I will often layer it with the Candid body cream. It's called Perfume Skin Softener, and it really has the texture of a body cream. I'll even open it up for you. This is not like a body butter. It's truly a cream. And it's like a thick lotion. So when you apply it, it's going to absorb the moisture in there. The water that's in there, of course, evaporates. And now here I rubbed it in, and it's not It's moisturizing without being greasy. It leaves no greasy feel on the skin at all. I would say it's moderately moisturizing. It's not super moisturizing. It's not at all fleeting like some lotions are. You put them on and you're like, where did it go? It definitely leaves a moisturized feeling on your skin without being too much. I use this as a body moisturizer. And when I'm really into sandalwood, I'll put this on after my bath, and then I'll spray with Candid. And the two of these here will last all day. And I'm not kidding, all day. The other thing about the perfumed body cream, or you could use it as a hand cream, I do that too, is that because it's perfumed, unlike a lot of perfume lotions, this will actually last. Like I can actually detect this on my skin 2 or 3 hours later, even longer, especially if you layer the two. So it's just an excellent pairing. And the best news about this is a bottle of Candid will cost you about $12. This is a 2.5 ounce bottle. I'm not kidding, $12, sometimes even $10. It's not unusual to find a bottle for under $10 if you're looking on eBay. I bought both of these at our state fair where I live, and I want to say I paid $5 for the perfume body softener, and I bought about 4 of them. And then the perfume, I don't know, around $12 a bottle, and I bought 2 bottles. And then they're super easy to pick up on eBay. You can buy these from Avon's website. You can buy these from an Avon lady. You can buy them on Amazon. So anyway, very inexpensive. The thing about Candid is that instead of having that off-putting kind of arrogant coldness, this is warm. This is the definition of a warm fragrance. The other thing is it doesn't have much of that spiciness in it that the Samsara has. So if you don't like spicy orientals, this really is not an oriental fragrance. This is truly a sandalwood tuberose fragrance. The tuberose takes a back seat to the sandalwood. Sandalwood's number one. I would say sandalwood up here, you get a little bit of tuberose, you get a little bit of oak moss, but it's really sandalwood. Sandalwood is the big player here. It's like 80% sandalwood, but it's a warm, rich, enveloping. It almost feels like there is vanilla in here, but there's not. It's just a woody, glorious perfume. Lasts 6+ hours. It's very inexpensive, but it does not smell cheap. Nothing about this smells cheap, in my opinion. It's absolutely beautiful. And when I reviewed for Grantica, that is by far the reviewer's assessment as well, that it's a beautiful classic fragrance without smelling cheap. It's friendly, approachable. My husband absolutely loves it. I mean, he said to me yesterday, and I'm not going to get personal, but he said, "You have been enticing me all day with this fragrance." So he absolutely loves this smell of Candid, and he loves to just like put his nose in my hair and take a deep breath of it, and he just absolutely, really loves it. And he's not at all shy about telling me when I'm wearing things that he doesn't like. And he very rarely notices what I'm wearing either, but this one gets his attention and he notices it. So if you like sandalwood, this one is very inexpensive. I highly recommend, and it's not well known. Like, I don't know, honestly, I haven't looked, but has anyone covered Candid on YouTube? I doubt it. And if they have, it's probably just in passing. I could be wrong. I haven't looked. I really don't watch a lot of perfume channels anymore because it seems like they all are talking about these super expensive perfumes that I will never buy and I will never wear and I am not at all interested in. But this sort of thing to me is the hidden gem that is kept under wraps, that is a combination of inexpensive and absolutely gorgeous, and a banger, absolute banger. I still would not call this a safe blind buy because you have to like sandalwood. Sandalwood's not for everyone. But if you like it, this one is extremely accessible. I would recommend for Samsara, get a decant. It's way too expensive to blind buy. For Candid, this is, if you like sandalwood, this is a very safe blind buy because it is so inexpensive. And if you don't like it, you just bring it off, drop it off at Goodwill and let someone else enjoy it. Let me know. I might buy it off you. You know. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.